Hey everybody, this is Kenny C here from Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, bringing you an exclusive interview. My guest at this time is coming to you from the bluegrass state of Kentucky. She is the meanest lady in the galaxy. You may know her from Ohio Valley Wrestling. You may know her from other wrestling companies in the Kentucky area. I'm joined with Venus right here, right now. Hello, Venus.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing real good. Thank you for taking the time off your schedule and doing this interview.
Oh, it's not a problem. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Now, you live in what area in Kentucky are you from?
It's a little town called Hillview. It's about 30 minutes out from Louisville.
You are a Kentucky fan or Louisville fan?
Oh, I'm a Kentucky fan, born and raised.
That's a great answer. Considering what just happened last night, Big Blue Nation came through. It's a big night, and the banner was raised earlier today, for what I've heard. So, congratulations to
Absolutely. Yeah,
congratu-
I watched that.
con- John Calipari finally won the big one.
He
Um,
sure did.
and you know, I honestly wish that a lot of the players would stay for one more year just to go for that repeat. But the NBA one and done rule say otherwise, and the money and other things. So, may the
Absolutely. But I'm sure a few of them will stay behind.
yeah, we shall wait and see. Obviously, us being Kentuckians and all, I mean, I have been living in Kentucky for mostly a decade or so, 1/3 of my life. Um, let's talk about the wrestling. Talk a little bit about your wrestling career. How did it got started?
Well, I got my start in Ohio Valley Wrestling. I was there for about a year. After that, I had some things come up, and I felt like I needed to take about a year off. And when I came back, I got involved with a company called All Pro Wrestling, based out of Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Was lucky enough to have some people kind of take me under their wing and furthered my training. And I've been with All Pro for a little over a year now, and I'm starting to do some traveling. Been going to West Virginia and different places in Kentucky and Indiana and Ohio, and all in all, it's just been a really great ride.
What was the experience like being in Ohio Valley Wrestling?
It was great. It was very professional. I had some great teachers. Made some very great friends in the business there who helped me along and kind of guided me. So I can't complain about my training there at all.
Now, obviously, OVW is now the official developmental territory for TNA Impact Wrestling. What's your take
Mhm.
on the two companies join forces?
Well, I mean, everybody knows that Ohio Valley Wrestling was the training grounds for WWE for a while, and then they parted ways. So, I mean, that right there in itself says that OVW is a good training school. Um, so I think it's great that they have come together and they're working together now, and I think it's pretty awesome.
Oh, all right. So, y- I'm curious to see who for OVW, the current roster, moves up to the Impact roster. Of course, some people from TNA already moved to Ohio Valley Wrestling now. So I'm curious to see who's that first person that's going to move up and get that opportunity, because there's a lot of talented wrestlers in OVW right now. So I'm very curious to see how that goes.
I
Uh,
am too. I think a lot of people are. I mean, there's a lot of great talent there.
oh, absolutely. Johnny Spade, Jamie Nolavencia, um, Woody Switchblade, and of course the ladies. They got some talented ladies as well. The Blossom Twins, Taylor
Mhm.
Hendricks, C.J. Lane, Lady JoJo, who has been in TNA before. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. Now,
Right.
of course, we are days removed from WrestleMania. Did you by any chance watch it? And if so, have any favorite match, favorite moment particular?
Yeah, I got the opportunity to watch it, and it's always fun to see some of the older guys as far as Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, all of them in a ring together. I mean, that's an awesome moment. So that was definitely my favorite match.
Oh, I definitely have to agree with you on that one. I want me personally. I thought it was going to be Punk and Jericho or Walker Cena, and I like both of those matches, but I couldn't get enough of Triple H and Undertaker. And he got Shawn Michaels as the referee. It was dramatic. It was emotion, close pinfalls, Triple H screaming at Shawn, "You finished it, so I will." I mean, it was just, it was intense.
Right. It was intense the whole time. It was a great match for sure. And I'm like you. I thought, Rock and Cena or CM Punk and Jericho. I thought one of those would end up being my favorite matches, but at the end of the night, nothing could top that match.
Hell in a Cell, the end of the era, and what I personally like was the end of the match when all three of them were right next to each other as they were exiting the wing. They walked right next to each other. I mean, that shows the respect and how much they care for one another, the bond, because
Right.
they are the last three left of the Attitude Era, pretty much. So I thought that was
Mhm.
I thought it was good to for them to end the match that way and walk off together like that. So it was. I thought overall the WrestleMania was fun to watch. There's some things I can move right along, but overall it was a good night, and I was happy to see,
Yeah.
and I was happy to see Four Horsemen, especially Arn Anderson, long
Oh yeah.
overdue, long overdue, and Ric Flair, who by
I
the
know.
which by the way was under a contract with TNA, was at
I know.
was at a WWE event. So apparently there's no TNA gave Flair the green light to go through that.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome too.
So let me ask you this: you being a female wrestler, what's your thoughts on women wrestling right now?
Honestly, when I first came into the business, I didn't really see women wrestling as being that big of a deal. Not to say like it's not a great thing, or I just it seemed like a very small part of wrestling. And lately, I'm seeing more and more people putting on women's matches, more and more shows incorporating girls, and I'm loving it. Honestly, I think it's great. I've always thought that women's wrestling has kind of been underrated or underestimated. And I think that women are finally getting their shot in the business as far as it's really starting to take off.
As far as I'm concerned, women wrestlers they have to work twice as hard as the man just to show that they belong. Always have a
Yeah.
chip on their shoulder, so to speak. Uh,
Mhm.
when you look at the male, you know what to expect. When it comes to the woman, you got to see and how things are going to fare out. And there's a lot of better women wrestling now than it was 10, 15 years ago. Women wrestling has come a long way as far as being accepted and well respected. So,
Right.
people like you and others from WSU to Shimmer to TNA, you know, much respect. WWE, they need to step their game up. But
Absolutely, I agree. But
every, everything
it's
else
it's moving right along. It's
is moving right along.
really progressing. I think it's great.
As far as WWE concerned, I mean they have talent. They just don't get a lot of airtime, and it's hard to take them seriously. They just need to lay off of the quote unquote models and focus on wrestlers. I mean
Right.
that's what they do. They wrestle. They compete. I mean, it worked with Trish Stratus, but since Trish, not so much.
Right. Absolutely.
So, do you have any? upcoming matches, events you're gonna be a part of?
I actually I'm still traveling, so this upcoming weekend I'll be in Harlan, Kentucky, and I'll also be in Ashland, Kentucky. And the following weekend I will be in West Virginia. As far as local shows, I should have shows coming up in Shepherdsville, so at any time. So if anybody wants to check me out, look up Meanest on Facebook, and I'll be posting my dates on there regularly.
Now, when it comes to character, being in the ring, what do you like being the most? You like being the baby face, or do you like being the heel?
I think it's more rewarding to be a baby face, but it takes more talent to be a heel. So, um, honestly, I like being a baby face just because I like interacting with the fans. But being a heel at the same time, that's what I started out as, and it's a lot of fun too. I guess my favorite, all in all, would be being a baby face.
Who are your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Shawn Michaels. When I was a little kid, Shawn Michaels was it. Him and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's Shawn Michaels, the greatest in-ring competitor, and Hulk Hogan, the most popular wrestler. He turned into a pop culture phenomenon that it is today. So, um,
Right.
of course, all can like her, not like her, but actually add her to your friends on Facebook under the name Venus Meanest. And yes, it
Mhm.
does rhyme. Venus Meanest.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be to anyone out there that wants to pursue their career as a wrestler? What would your advice be?
You absolutely have to have the heart to be dedicated to it. You have to have the heart, you have to have the dedication, and you have to understand that this business is really, really based on respect to a degree. I mean, you have to have a lot of respect for the guys who came before you and the people who are getting into it also just because, it's hard getting into it. So if you don't have respect, if you don't have the heart, you don't have the dedication, don't even try it. It's my opinion. But if you have those things, absolutely pursue your dreams, shoot for the stars.
Well said. Now, if you can have a dream match against any opponent, dead or alive, past or current, what would your dream match be and who would your opponent be?
Um, I guess I would have to say there's so many people I'd like to have a match with. um, I would like to work with. I'm just going to tell you people I want to work with because I don't even have a dream match. It would be a dream just to get to work with these people.
Okay.
ODB, Karma, Beth Phoenix, and I know I'm leaving somebody out. Those are my three top. Absolutely, those three are the three people I would love to get to work with.
It's a nice choice of talent there. ODB, Karma, and Beth Phoenix. I guess you was trying to mention Natalia too, because they kind of like back and hand in hand anyway. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, she's definitely up there as well.
Now Venus, before we end this interview, I ask all guests to do this like a station ID. It's like a voice drop. All you have to do is say your name, and what after you say your name, you say you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
All right. This is Venus, and you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Venus. Again, you can add her to your friends on Facebook under the name Venus Meanest. If you are in the Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia areas, be on the lookout for Venus in action, coming to a city and ring near you. Venus, it was great talking to you. Hopefully, one day I'll be happy to see you in the ring and in person. Uh, I know you was originally scheduled to be in the UWF Vixen show a couple of months ago, but you was unable to be there. But
Mhm.
hopefully, either UWF or somewhere in the Kentucky area, I'll be happy to see you.
Absolutely. Like I said, guys, just stay posted with my Facebook page, and I will be updating my status, updating my show dates for everybody to see.
All right, be on the lookout for Venus Meanest coming to a ring near you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And this will conclude the interview.